Go to reparationsnowdoc.com. That's reparationsnowdoc.com to get all access to the theatrical release and behind the scenes footage right now at reparationsnowdoc.com.
Reparations Now, the documentary, is also streaming at Tubi TV.
Get your merch, go to etnmediagroupstore.com. That's etnmediagroupstore.com. Cut the check, policy of a party, reparations now, and much, much more.
Another way to support is to use the ETM Amazon affiliate link to do all of your Amazon shopping needs online. Just access the ETM Amazon affiliate link before you do all your Amazon shopping. Is a way to help support our work and this channel.
2024 Reparations Manifestations Planner is available right now at Amazon. Go get your planner right now, available at Amazon.com.
And don't forget to use the ETM Amazon affiliate link when you order your 2024 Manifestation Planner at Amazon. Okay, let's get into the news for November 10th, 2023.
Let's do it. Rapper C Knight has transitioned at the age of 52. C Knight, a member of Dove Shack and West Coast hip hop pioneers, reportedly died after being taken off life support. He was 52. TMZ was the first to report the passing of Knight, born Arnez Blount. Fellow Dove Shack member Bo Rock later confirmed his death. In an Instagram post, he described how devastating the loss is. C Knight was hospitalized on October 8th due to complications from diabetes. Subsequently, his heart stopped after suffering a stroke before being resuscitated and placed on life support. The MC's father told TMC his family was optimistically awaiting the results of an MRI that would show any notable brain activity. Tragically, his condition only worsened. Dove Shack's most memorable hit was Summertime in the LBC, which appeared on both their debut album, This Is the Shack, and the soundtrack to the show. A year earlier, they debuted as a group on Warren G's album Regulate G-Funk Era in 1994. The group reunited for a project in 2006, while C Knight released his solo album Nighttime in 2001. May you rest in peace, brother.
Yes, rest in peace. Gone too soon, 52 years young.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a press release coming out of California Secretary of State Shirley Weber's office for immediate release on November 9th, 2023. California Secretary of State Shirley Weber, PhD, has confirmed that the United States Postal Service has intercepted 2 suspicious envelopes headed to election facilities in Los Angeles and Sacramento. Quote, federal and state authorities are investigating the incident, but there has been no confirmation that these envelopes contained any toxic substances, end quote, said Secretary Weber. Quote, nevertheless, we are advising local election offices to take precautions before handling the mail that arrives at their facilities, end quote. While investigators are still determining the origins and contents of these envelopes, there are concerns that this is part of a trend of suspicious mail sent to election offices in Georgia, Oregon, and Washington containing suspicious substances, including fentanyl. Quote, we will continue to work with state and federal law enforcement authorities on responding to any threats to California election officials, end quote, Weber said.
Wow, that's unfortunate.
Right, and we were talking earlier. I remember that this was happening. Gosh, what do you think that was in the 90s with the arsenic threats or
Yeah, maybe
Same
around there.
thing with the
Late
powder
80s,
falling out.
90s. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So everybody stay safe out there.
Stay safe. All right. So it looks like there is a woman that has planted more than 4,500 trees in a day and found an audience of millions. To plant more than 4,500 trees in one day, you don't move like a gardener, you move like a machine. In a video viewed millions of times on social media, Leslie Dart walks across a desolate and burnt landscape in Saskatchewan. She plunges a small spade into the ground, levers open a hole, drops in a seedling, then stomps the hole shut, barely breaking stride as she does it again, again, and again. By the end of that summer day last year, Dart had planted 4,545 trees in the past 3 summers. She has planted 372,290 trees across Canada. Dart, who now works in the aerospace manufacturing industry after graduating from Durham College in Ontario this spring, is among the thousands of tree planters, many of them college students, who work mostly for logging companies across Canada to plant trees each summer. So, I mean, this is very interesting, right? Because, um, oftentimes, we talk about, ecology and what could we do about global warming. Well, this young lady is a great example of what people can do. And also, I mean, to create jobs. I know there's people who like to be out there in nature. And I know, unfortunately, with, our ancestors, we were actually forced to work on the land. But for those who have that green thumb, are definitely interested in, nature, uh, this is a possibility, especially for freedmen in the future who, might want to think about getting into this field. So
Yeah,
interesting story.
definitely. You know, doing great things for the environment. Speaking of doing great things, we have an article here. Says it was posted 2 days ago. Um, African leaders should be ashamed. Mr. Beast builds 100 wells in Africa. And this is from, got this off MSN, Microphone SA People is the name of the publication. On Friday, Mr. Beast took to Twitter to tease his up and coming video and project. Quote, we spent over 8 months working on tomorrow's video, and it's the greatest thing I've ever done, end quote, he teased. After teasing his video, the YouTuber dropped his video on Saturday, November the 4th. The video in question sees Mr. Beast together with his team traveling across Africa in an effort to provide less fortunate communities, schools, and clinics with fresh water, computers, and bicycles. So, yeah, it really is an amazing video. It's out there in the Twitter sphere. If anyone wants to go, search hashtag Mr. Beast. I'm sure it's all over. You should technically go take a look at it. Also, commenters on Twitter, we had a Colin Rugg. He reports that activists are upset at YouTuber Mr. Beast for building 100 wells across Africa that provided clean drinking water to its citizens. Although the wells provide clean water to 500,000 Africans, activists are upset with Mr. Beast because they're annoyed a white man was the one who solved the problem. Quote, I've been doing this for 15 years, but we've been struggling to continue the work because funding, awareness, and advocacy all take work, end quote, said founder of FACE Africa, Sarang Kalba Jones. Quote, overnight, this person comes along who happens to be a white male figure with a huge platform, and all of a sudden he gets all the attention. It's kind of frustrating, but it also understanding the nature of how the world is, end quote, she said before giving him a weak thank you. Others were upset that Mr. Beast, quote, highlighted the failures of the Kenyan government and maintained the stereotype that Africa is, quote, dependent on handouts and philanthropic intervention, end quote. Mr. Beast predicted the backlash, saying he knows he's going to get, quote, canceled, end quote, but he doesn't care. Quote, I already know I'm going to get canceled because I uploaded a video helping people, and to be 100% clear, I don't care. End quote. Clean water is racist. So it sounds like some sour grapes coming from the people.
Sour grapes.
Sour grapes, because Mr. Beast is out there making it happen,
Making it rain, huh? Literally.
literally making it rain. But it kind of reminds me of this reparations space that we're in. People talking about legacy organizations that have been doing the work for 30, 40 or more years, haven't moved the needle on anything, and then get all salty when people come along putting in their work.
Yeah, it's interesting because at one point of this article, I was thinking to myself, all right, well, if I was in their shoes as the natives, right, and then you have some foreigner who comes in there who also just happens to be white, Mr. White Savior, and we've been trying to, get machinery and XYZ for this amount of time. This is all hypothetical. I don't know. But if that is the case, then that really is unfortunate, because then you're actually talking about it's either that government that's not supporting it, or it's because for some reason the countries are lacking the resources, which could be the case too, right? However, he did come through and he did say, look, this is what I'm doing. And somebody had to okay him to go there. He couldn't just come to that country and be like, hey, I'm just bringing this big machinery. So somebody had to okay that. So regardless of what it is, he's doing what he's doing, and now people got drinking water.
Yeah, well, the powers that be pick winners and losers. And like I said, if you parallel it to the reparations movement that we're in, it is, difficult for the people who are really doing the work to get the funding and resources that they need to continue that work, while, obstructionists and ops seem to be well funded.
Yeah, you do have a lot of distraction going on out there. Yeah, facts. All right. Speaking of facts, it looks like a historic California drought finally ends. California's most extreme drought in the last 126 years has come to an end, with the U.S. Drought Monitor reporting all of the state is drought-free on Thursday. There was a map released November 9th, 2023. Atmospheric rivers washed over the state at the beginning of the year, which cut the drought down by half in March. The storms brought record snowfall and a snowpack lasting through August. That's when Tropical Storm Hillary drenched California with a year's worth of rain in a single day across parts of the state. Now, forecasters predict heavy rains and some snow throughout the state next week, keeping drought conditions further at bay. So, shout out to Mother Nature, number one.
Yeah, water all around, making it rain.
Making it rain. However, the state needs to do a better job in terms of water conservation. So we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, but this is good news about the drought. And I don't think we've had any, fires,
I know, right?
extreme fires this season, which is
God.
Yeah.
I remember what it was. It wasn't. Was it about 2 years ago. I don't know if it was last year.
I think it was 2
Yeah,
years ago. I
maybe
know
2 years
exactly
ago.
what you're talking
It
about.
was
Yeah.
horrible. There was fires all across California, like everywhere. I remember a couple times up here in Northern California, it was just like seemed like there was a fire like every other month throughout the
Mm-hmm.
summer, and then down Southern California there were like all kind of fires. So, um, knock on wood, last summer and hopefully next summer, with the rains, it won't, be as devastating.
Right, right. Speaking of devastation, real estate transaction involving historic cemetery in Broward is full of injustice, residents say. Pompano Beach, Florida. Estelle Roll, an actress who is best known for her role as Florida Evans on Maude and its spin-off series Good Times, was buried at a historic cemetery in Broward County. Ed Phillips, a former Pompano Beach commissioner, said Roll was born in Pompano Beach, and many of the Black pioneers of the community were at the Westville Community Cemetery. And I think we have a video to go along with that if you want to play that, see what's going on out there in Broward County.
All right, let's do it.
A cemetery controversy sparking outcries from a community in Pompano Beach. Part of the property has been sold to a developer.
And now they're planning to build a warehouse on this burial land meant for low-income families. Local 10's Hatzel Vela is live with the details.
Christy, so much history here, and when you talk to residents here in Pompano Beach, they'll tell you they are concerned about the mismanagement of the cemetery, but now deeply concerned that it has been sold, is in the process, they say, of being developed.
These graves in here.
88-year-old Ella Glasgow says most of her family's buried here. Bought several lots together, but her loved ones are not all together. This sacred place is easy to overlook when you drive on Copans.
You have people that drive by here every day.
The Westview Community Cemetery dates back to the early 50s.
Robinsons, the Phillips.
Pioneers in the Pompano Beach African American community. One of the most well-known graves where Esther Roll now lies, known for her acting role as Florida on Good Times.
This cemetery was created because African Americans could not go to other cemeteries.
Former Pompano Beach Commissioner.
Now, how come every time they want to develop something, build something, they always have to encroach on the Black communities? I mean, dang.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. When we were shooting the documentary, we actually went to Allensworth, and our good brother John Pope out there, who's an historian on Allensworth, showed us the cemetery where Black people are buried out there, and it's just tragic. From what I recall, I didn't see any headstones out there, maybe one. So yeah, they just another tragic incident.
Yeah, most of them have wooden crosses to mark the grave site, but again, why is it that every time there needs to be some kind of development, some kind of eminent domain situation, it's always the Black communities? I mean, they can't find somewhere else other than a historic cemetery to build a warehouse. And really, these cemeteries, these historic cemeteries, they should be under some kind of historic preservation protections, and the upkeep should be maintained by the municipality or the state, or somebody needs to maintain these historic cemetery sites.
Absolutely. And just to note that this is actually in the state of Florida, so Pompano Beach is in the state of Florida.
Okay.
Just by the way. All right, Sacramento County will spend $1.3 million on a safe stay parking lot for 30 homeless people. A safe parking lot could accommodate up to 30 homeless people near Sacramento McClellan Airport starting next year, after the Sacramento County Board of Supervisors greenlit the project Tuesday. The county will direct $1.3 million in federal funding to construction of the parking lot facilities. The director of the county's Department of Homeless Services and Housing, Emily Halcon, told the board that this is an interim project as the county stands up the rest of the property for various homeless services. The planned lot in Sacramento County's North Highlands area will be focused on relocating people who are living in their cars nearby, especially on Roseville Road. According to the 2022 federal mandated point-in-time count, at least 9,278 homeless people live in the county.
So it seems like they keep building these homeless sites, like on the outskirts of places. I think they have one, the outskirts planned to be built in South Sacramento. Do people even go to these places? I mean, it seems like they're all centralized in the downtown area from what I can see. So do people even use these facilities?
Well, that's a great question. And also, as it mentions in the article, I mean, these are short-term, solutions. So, our governments, or especially our local municipalities, need to do a better job to find permanent, situations for the homeless population.
But like I said, it seems like no matter how much of these temporary solutions or these shelters, these mega shelters that they build, nothing seems to clean up the homelessness on the inner city streets. Yeah. It just doesn't go anywhere, no matter what they do, how much money they throw at it.
Yep.
Okay, thousands of people are reportedly lining up to have a portion of their skull removed and one of Elon Musk's brain chips implanted. Thousands of people are interested in becoming Neuralink patients, as Bloomberg report says. Elon Musk's startup received FDA approval earlier this year to start human trials. The brain chip startup hopes to implant a device that acts as a, quote, Fitbit for your skull, end quote. Thousands of people have expressed interest in receiving one of Neuralink's brain implants, a recent Bloomberg report from one of Elon Musk's biographers, Ashley Vance says. Vance, who has visited Neuralink's facilities 10 times in 3 years, said the company had yet to implant its device in a human, but aimed to operate on 11 people next year and more than 22,000 by 2030. Earlier this year, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration gave Neuralink, which Musk co-founded in 2016, approval to launch human trials of its device that Musk has described as, quote, Fitbit in your skull, end quote. The FDA has previously rejected Neuralink's bid for human testing in March over safety concerns, Reuters reported, including that the wires connected to the brain chip could move within a subject's head or that the chip could overheat.
Nope.
Yeah, so I mean, I know our ETM listeners are probably like, what has this news got to do with us? But I want to know, I mean, is anyone interested in getting one of these Fitbit for your skull implants? I'm certainly not.
Nope. Not happening, Jack.
All right. Nope. And next.
A robot dog helps LAPD with bus standoff in Hollywood. Police deployed a robot dog as part of a 2-hour standoff with a man suspected of carrying a gun on a bus in Hollywood Wednesday morning, according to the Los Angeles Police Department. A SWAT team was sent to the area of Western and Melrose Avenues at around 4:40 p.m. in response to a report of a man carrying a gun on the city bus. The man was taken into custody about 2 hours later, according to the police. The LAPD deployed its quadruped unmanned ground vehicle robot as part of its response, produced by Boston Dynamics. The 4-legged machines are often known as, quote, robot dogs, end quote, that periodically appear in viral videos. Coming to a city near you, if not already.
All right. The man was taken into custody about 2 hours later. I mean, so was this a successful deployment? It really doesn't let us know what this robot dog had to do.
Yeah, if I recall correctly, it really didn't go into details, and I wasn't aware of any footage. So if anybody does happen to find footage, let us know. But it was deployed.
Okay, let's see here. Montgomery Mayor, Police Chief charges against co-captain in Riverfront Brawl not filed by the city. So some of you may have been seeing some news that the Riverfront Brawl, the co-captain was going to be facing charges. The Montgomery Mayor and Police Chief released a update that wanted to clear some things up about those charges being filed against the co-captain. Montgomery Mayor and Police Chief have released a statement in which they're seeking to clarify developments surrounding charges that have been filed against the Harriet II riverboat's co-captain more than 3 months after the brawl that grabbed national attention. Online court records showed Damian Pickett is now charged with third-degree assault. The charges stem from his involvement in a fight with other defendants during the August brawl that was sparked by an argument over a parking spot for the city-owned riverboat. WSFA 12 News has confirmed that Pickett was not arrested or booked into any jail, but was served with a summons on October 23rd to appear in court on November 21st. The city and police departments are making it clear that they did not file charges against him, issuing the following statement Thursday. Quote, the city of Montgomery and Montgomery police departments have been made aware that one of the individuals involved in the incident at Montgomery Riverfront Park on August 5th, 2023, has filed charges against Harriet II co-captain Damian Pickett. Neither the city nor the Montgomery Police Department filed these charges. The Montgomery Police Department's investigation only lists Mr. Pickett as a victim. So they just wanted to clear it up, let y'all know that they are not the ones that filed charges. It was another, participant in the incident that filed those charges against Mr. Pickett.
All right. How abandoned golf courses can become bastions of biodiversity. Golf course closures have outnumbered openings every year since 2006 in the United States, a trend that could prove beneficial for the health of the environment. Because they require vast amounts of water, energy, and fertilizer to maintain, golf courses aren't typically held as climate-friendly spaces. But once abandoned, the large swaths of open land are primed for rewilding, which could boost biodiversity and provide more public green space. Guillermo Rodriguez, the California State Director of the Trust for Public Land, told CNN that abandoned courses are huge opportunities from a conservation perspective. It's a multiple win, he said. You increase public access by taking former private golf courses and turning them into public properties. You return water back into rivers and streams and create a better habitat for the endangered species that we have in California.
Four current former LASD employees dead by suicide in last 2 days. One retired employee and 3 current members of Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department were found dead by suicide within a 24-hour period starting Monday. The first death was reported around 10:30 a.m. on Monday in Valencia, according to a statement from the department. Just over 2 hours later, a little after 12:50 p.m., detectives were called to a second death in Lancaster. At 5:40 p.m., they were again called, this time to a home in Stevenson Ranch. At around 7:30 a.m. Tuesday morning, homicide detectives were sent to a hospital in Pomona where a current employee was declared dead. Quote, out of respect for the grieving families, we will not be disclosing the names of the employees at this time, end quote. A statement said, quote, homicide detectives and the County of Los Angeles medical examiner will continue to investigate each incident independently, end quote. Details surrounding the death remain unclear. Investigators have not noted if they believe the incidents to be connected. And there were quite a few comments on this story. One of the hottest comments from a user, What in the World, posted, being former LEO, either these poor women and men knew something and someone was getting it taken care of, or something was about to come to light. Sad either way. So
charges.
Charges. Okay,
yeah.
it's just split up right there. Okay, charges were about to come to light. So they're doing some further investigation, but it certainly seems suspect.
Yeah, hope they get to the bottom of that, because that's crazy.
Right, and we know that there has been a lot of scrutiny around the sheriff's gangs in LA, correct?
Yeah, especially LASD for sure.
And there, Ms. Castle, reporter, what was her name? Charisse, I believe was her first name. Castle did a groundbreaking, award-winning report on the sheriff gangs in LA, and actually touched on that subject a little bit in Reparations Now, the documentary. So again, if you have not seen Reparations Now, the documentary produced by ETM Media, please do that at either Tubi TV, or you can go to our website, reparationsdoc.com. Right?
Close. reparationsnowdoc.com.
Okay.
I think they get it.
Okay, reparationsnowdoc.com.
Yeah, I think they got it. All right, holiday sales predicted to rise by 3.5%. For the second year in a row, holiday sales growth is expected to slow, with retail sales predicted to increase between 3.5% and 4.6% this year compared to last year's holiday season, according to a Deloitte report released Wednesday. The report predicts that Hollywood sales from November 2023 to January 2024 will reach between 1.54 trillion and 1.56 trillion. The projections represent more moderate growth than last year, when holiday sales increased 7.6% and reached 1.49 trillion. E-commerce sales are anticipated to rise between 10.3% and 12.8% year over year, which could push online holiday sales to between 278 billion and 284 billion.
Democratic lawmakers worries voters' feelings will result in a vote for Trump. Rep. Jasmine Crockett, Democrat, Texas, expressed her alarm at the poll that has Donald Trump beating Joe Biden in 2024. Crockett appeared on State of the Union Sunday to discuss a poll from the New York Times showing that Biden is lagging behind Trump in Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, and Pennsylvania. Trump's lead varies anywhere between 3 to 10 percentage points. And I think we have a snippet of what she had to say on State of the Union, if you could roll it.
Here's the deal. Perception is reality. And so when you look at the data that was provided in this poll, it talks about how people feel. And when people decide whether they're going to the poll or whether they're not going to the poll, it's all about how you feel in that moment. And so while the facts may not align with their feelings are dictating their reality. Their reality is that they said that they feel better or they felt better when Trump was in office. But we've been trying to push back. We've got some very popular African-American artists that are out here saying things like, oh, I got checks when Trump was in office. I want those checks again, not understanding that that really came from Congress. So we've got a couple of things, the perception issue, and then we also have an issue as it relates to civics in this country and people not understanding exactly how any of this works. Here's the deal. Perception is reality. And so when you look...
It's like you want to hear what she had to say twice. Once was enough for me, and it's Miss Crockett who don't understand the way things are fitting to be working in this upcoming election season. So I had to do a little bit of research on her, went to Ballotpedia. We got to look these people up and see what they talking about. On her campaign website, I wanted to see what her issues were. So equality and civil rights. She had a blurb. Jasmine has been a civil rights attorney for over 15 years and has represented high-profile cases, including the families of Jordan Edwards, Jackie Craig, and many more North Texans who have been victims of injustice. Jasmine has been a champion for Texans from all walks of life and every identity. Jasmine has fought anti-LGBTQ or LGBT legislation tooth and nail in Texas House and will fight for increased protections from discrimination. Jasmine will continue her steadfast and vocal ally of the LGBT plus community. So Ms. Crockett had nothing about reparations on her platform. And like I said, the way things are working in this upcoming election season is no reparation, no vote. And speaking of upcoming election, it looks like Ms. Crockett has also planned on running for re-election to the U.S. House of Representatives in Texas, 30th Congressional District. She declared candidacy for a Democratic primary scheduled for March 5th, 2024. So everybody out there in Texas, you guys need to be aware of, her policies. Is doing anything to help your communities out there in Texas. Yeah,
that's very interesting. She was talking about, this artist. Did she say black artist?
She said rap artist.
Rap artist? I don't know if it was black artist, rap artist, or whatever. Here we go again.
Well, the rap artist happens to be black. I know who she's talking about.
Well, I mean, here we go again, trying to rope in these celebrities. And look, don't get it twisted. Don't get me wrong. Everybody should participate in civics, right? And political,
absolutely.
The political spectrum, the political world. So I'm not really discounting, our quote unquote entertainers. But, oftentimes, they're just not politically savvy. They don't do any research, and it's just, you can just kind of tell about how they navigate. But once again, shout out to our good brothers and sisters who are entertainers that want to get educated and be politically astute, which is important because then okay, this is what I'm voting on. How does it impact me? How does it impact my community if they care about their community? And, just get informed. And so hopefully they are getting informed more so this year, especially from the 2024 upcoming elections, because as you were saying, no reparations, no vote.
No joke. And then she's talking about facts over feelings. Oh, it's facts over feelings. I mean, how you feel is real. I mean, if people were feeling better under Trump, they were feeling better under Trump. How's she going to tell somebody how they supposed to feel. So anyways, Miss
Yeah,
Jasmine
that's true.
Crockett is one to watch for the upcoming election season. Let's see if she starts to support any policies that will actually impact the Black community that she feels qualified to speak on.
All right, Manchin says he will not seek re-election, dealing blow to Democrats. The conservative West Virginia Democrat, known for his bipartisan deal-making and also for frustrating some of his party's most ambitious policy goals, announced on Thursday that he would not seek re-election, dealing a blow to the Democrats' chances of holding the Senate next year. Instead, Mr. Manchin, who is likely to face a strong Republican challenger to keep his Senate seat in a deeply red state, said he would continue exploring whether there was an appetite in the country for a centrist third-party bid for the presidency. That prospect has alarmed many Democrats who fear such a run could doom President Biden's hope of remaining in the White House. Quote, after months of deliberation and long conversations with my family, I believe in my heart of hearts that I have accomplished what I set out to do for West Virginia, Mr. Manchin, 76, said in a video news release. Quote, I have made one of the toughest decisions of my life and decided that I will not be running for re-election to the United States Senate. But what I will be doing is traveling the country and speaking out to see if there is an interest in creating a movement to mobilize the middle and bring Americans together. The decision was an immediate setback for Democrats' hopes of holding a majority in the Senate, where they currently control 51 votes, 48 Democrats, and 3 independents who caucus with them. Mr. Manchin, who served 6 years as governor before his election to the Senate in 2010, was seen as the only Democrat with a chance of holding the seat.
So he said, I'm out.
He's like, good luck.
See ya.
What is that saying? Don't let the door hit you, let it split you or something?
It doesn't sound like he's going completely away, though. He's going on a road tour, you say, to what's he trying to do?
I could be wrong, but he might be running for president. I don't know if it's too late, though, right? But I don't know. I mean, it says that the prospect has alarmed many Democrats who fear such a run could doom President Biden's hope of remaining in the White House. So,
I see. Okay. Well, we'll see how it goes. Rite Aid wants to sell 92 more stores, leases in Chapter 11. The offering is in addition to 78 leases and 21 stores and land parcels that went up for sale in mid-October as the retailer restructures in bankruptcy. Dive brief. Rite Aid is moving to sell an additional 92 store leases in 8 states as it works to shrink its physical footprint as part of its ongoing bankruptcy restructuring process. A&G Real Estate Partners said Monday it will offer the retail leases with the bankruptcy court approval for private sale to help Rite Aid reduce its debt. After the retailer filed for Chapter 11 on October 16th, A&G Real Estate Partners on October 17th announced the pharmacy retailer wanted to sell 78 leases and 21 stores and land parcels in 12 states. Monday's announcement boosts the number of announced lease, store, and land parcel sales to 191. Quote, Rite Aid is continuing to assess its property portfolio and will close additional stores to optimize its real estate footprint and improve its overall financial performance, end quote, A&G Real Estate Partners said.
yeah, hopefully doesn't impact, the people that actually go get their prescriptions there, because they have to find another pharmacy.
Right, a pharmacy leaving near you soon, it sounds like. Yeah, and it's very convenient. I mean, Rite Aid by my house has like a drive-through pharmacy, so very convenient, and that would be a loss for many in the community.
Yeah, I just couldn't imagine, Rite Aid leaving, and then especially if you don't have access to like transportation or immediate transportation, like a car or something.
Mm-hmm.
You might have to go miles. Maybe in a different city to get, your pharmaceuticals. So
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't create too many pharmacy deserts.
All right. Data reportedly shows Buffett traded Berkshire stocks in personal account, according to ProPublica. Warren Buffett reportedly traded stocks in his personal account that his conglomerate Berkshire Hathaway was buying and selling, a practice that he himself in the past deemed a conflict of interest, according to ProPublica on Thursday. The nonprofit news outlet, citing a leak of confidential IRS data, alleged the, quote, Oracle of Omaha, end quote, traded shares in his private account in the same quarter or the quarter before Berkshire bought or sold the same stocks, including shares of Wells Fargo, Johnson & Johnson, and Walmart. The examples given were from 2009 and 2012. Berkshire has not responded to CNBC's request for comment outside of normal business hours. The 93-year-old investor has been open about the fact that he has a personal account separate from his company's $300 billion equity portfolio. Berkshire is required to disclose its holdings quarterly to the Securities and Exchange Commission, but the holdings in Buffett's account and size of it are largely a mystery. Buffett has said publicly that he tries to steer clear of the investments Berkshire is involved in when it comes to his personal account. Quote, I try to stay away from anything that could conflict with Berkshire, end quote, Buffett said during the company's annual meeting in 2016.
Rich get richer.
Yep. All right. So if you did not see the last and the third Republican debate, GOP debate, you can check it out on even the Mass Media Group, or I'm sure it's somewhere online as well. But let's look at some of these statistics and the numbers. According to a CBS News poll, 2024 Republican nomination, who would you vote for today? So amongst these candidates, potential candidates, you have Trump leading at 61%, DeSantis at 18%, Haley at 9%, Ramaswamy at 5%, Scott at 4%, Christie at 2%, Burgum at 1%, and Hutchinson at 1%.
-1 is what that looks like to me.
Less than 1%. Jeez. And then I think Vice President Pence, he actually he bailed out, right? He was like, I think he did. I could be wrong, but I think he's no longer running.
Well, I ain't missed him.
So yeah. So what do you think about the Republican debate?
They were talking about a lot of foreign policy stuff. I was hoping that they would focus more on American issues, that are pertinent to American people. Seemed like a lot of mudslinging. I mean, just really womp womp.
Yeah, a lot of womp womp. I mean, they were talking about TikTok, China. Obviously they didn't even get close to touching anything black related or reparations at all.
One person mentioned black. I forgot under what context though, and I'm like, this is
probably Tim Scott.
Probably Tim Scott.
Yeah.
He's probably talking about his black mama or something. I don't know. I'm like, he's the only one I heard say black this whole time.
And then they did mention something about, I think they mentioned something about abortion and the economy, but the majority of it was about international and really nothing domestic. So
Mhm.
I was just like, this is a bunch of garbage.
Yeah, I was kind of like, where's Trump?
Well, obviously 61% said where's Trump too. And he hasn't even gotten in any of these debates. So
No.
at all.
So
He's
you
like
said that this
1%
is
away.
was the last debate? This is the last debate before the primary?
Oh, I don't know. Well, this was the third one. I don't know if it's the last. I mean, it might be.
Oh, you meant just the
Yeah.
last one
Just
that
the last
happened.
one, yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know. It might be, but who knows? But I'd be interested. I think I was listening to a report. I don't know where exactly it was, but I think Trump said that if there is an upcoming debate, that he probably most likely will not be participating in that either. So,
Oh,
what was that? One of these kids are doing their own thing.
definitely. All right. So, upcoming, well, as you know, we've been doing our weekly Road to Reparations series on that Sunday at 10 a.m. So be sure to join us for that. We are highlighting assembly members in the California State Legislature. Like I said, research these people, know what some of their issues are. Please tune in for that. And later in the day, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we will be having ARC Bay Area join us for a discussion on their upcoming activities, advocacy activities. So please join us on Sunday. It's going to be a jam-packed day.
Jam-packed will be, and it's going to be a good conversation, an interesting conversation to see what's going on in the Bay Area. You know, for our family up there, the Bay Area.
Yeah,
American
we are
Redress
all
Coalition.
gearing up for the 2024 legislative session. So join us and get engaged and get involved.
And so that known by American Redress Coalition of California, by the way, a Bay Area. So that's what ARCC stands for. So yeah, we can't wait to have them on the platform in the program. We have had obviously Darlene. Shout out to Darlene Crumity. We have had Josiah. Hopefully he'll be coming through as well. We interviewed him. Actually we did an interview with him, and I believe it was a good brother Antonio Harvey of California Black Media together. And I think Josiah also had an interview with Chris Lodson and Samuel Brown of ASAP.
Josiah's doing good work. He's out there doing amazing work.
So hopefully he'll be there, Darlene will be there, and hopefully some other members from the ARC Bay Area family will be there as well. So
yeah, the more the merrier.
Absolutely. So we'll be seeing you this Sunday right here on In the Mess Media Group, and I think that's it for the news.
Yeah, that's it for In the News.
All right, till then, peace and reparations.
See y'all.
See you.